We're going live.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hi.
So you can ask them if they want to guess and I don't know if you're
The question of the evening is, can you guess how many cats I have in my house right now, this evening?
as we
I need
speak.
an intervention.
As we speak.
I need an intervention.
Yeah, I think so, huh? I can't even imagine. But yeah, if you want to guess anybody, I mean, I don't know
A
who's
little,
watching yet, but if you want to guess, please do, because
it just snowballed, you know?
so funny. So I opened up my fortune cookie last night and
Okay.
it says it's okay to say no.
Oh yes. Yeah, no,
You,
no, I do know that, but I'm probably deep down inside, I didn't actually want to say no.
you missed them. You went on holiday and you didn't have any babies. You
I
missed them.
didn't
So.
have any babies. I'll show you Jackson.
Oh, what
He
are their names now?
So this is Jackson.
Oh, he is a cutie patootie.
He's a 4 week old orphan. He is an actual orphan. So I've got him upstairs in one of my bedrooms or one of my bathrooms, just to keep him contained. So that's one, you know that. And I have two, Blossom and Carmen. They actually stay with me. So there's three. How many do I
Hint,
have?
hint, hint. It's more than three.
It's
More
more
than
than
three.
three.
And if you add the other hint that she feels she needs an intervention, it's more than four.
It is probably more than four.
I mean, because when you had the apple ones, there was what, six of those?
The Apple babies, yes, I think there were six babies and one mama.
And
Yeah,
then
no, I mean when you start adding groups like that, it's maybe not quite as bad, but
right, but the
it,
pasta ones probably the same around
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So, hmm, think people, think people. Oh my God, little Alice, she when we say something about thinking, she'd do this or she'd do that, and we're like, where is she getting that from?
Yeah.
So I sat down with her one night and I'm watching what she watches, Gabby Cat, Gabby, Gabby's Dollhouse. And when they ask Gabby a question, she goes, "Let me think." And I'm like,
Oh, okay.
she gets
Yeah.
her
There you
from.
go. That's cute. Very cute.
So good evening, everyone who's joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. The question of the evening is, how many cats does Lydia have in her house right now? And the hint is it's more than four.
Right. Right.
So, and it's more than she's probably ever had at one time
Yeah,
before.
this is probably my top number.
You never do that again, huh? You
Well,
never,
it's yeah, it's a lot of work right now.
yeah, you never say never though. But thank God you have more than one bathroom or more than one room in the house. Oh, and you're not letting the two that are yours mingle.
Well, I let Carmen have a little look at the babies. So you know, she hasn't really sort of stepped in the same way my other matron cat used to, but
Oh, okay.
we'll see what happens. We've
Yeah.
only, it's just been out of control for the last 2 days.
Oh, oh. As they get comfortable and start getting into stuff and everything. I feel that way about the kids.
Mm,
The girls have been here for over 2 weeks. And I
mm.
noticed the first week they're kind of getting acclimated, and the second week they're getting a little bit more familiar, and then now they're like getting into stuff that they shouldn't be getting into.
That's right. They just keep on pushing those boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, okay, I guess it's time for them to go home. So thank you, ladies, for being here. And once again, the question of the hour is, how many cats does Lydia have in her house at this time? And I don't know, if if there's any prizes, or it's just
Well, I was thinking that I could, maybe one of my colored pencils of a cat, though. It has to be of a cat.
Oh, so think about that. Think about how many cats she has. Clue is more than four. And the second clue is the most she's had so far ever at one time. So there you go on that. And maybe we'll do a little half commercial in between your
Okay, we'll
halfway
see
along
that.
just to get some more votes in, more people as they come in. So thank you for being here. If you are watching, you can ask questions. I usually say if it's a question regarding like a color of her pencil or whatever, I usually typically say, please go to her website, lydiasteeves.com under Critter Squares and purchase the pattern. And then you can always watch this replay. Within the next 30 days, the way that Facebook has planned it, you get to watch this replay on this Facebook group for the next 30 days. And after that, I'm going to try and move it over to YouTube as fast as I can. And there you'll have access to it indefinitely. So we already have a guess here. I'm
Oh,
guessing 12, Ruth says, and Ray said 8. So far, we're, we're not really all that, well, we're close, but not that close, right?
we're close, but not that close. What does that mean?
How many cats you have? You know, you told
I
me.
do know. I do know. I have added it all up. I am very aware that I needed intervention.
So we will announce the winner at the end of the evening. Oh, Bonnie says 7. Now let's see. Dixie said 13. Keep it coming. Keep all those questions coming, answers coming, and we'll see who gets it. So, anyways, if you have those questions, let us know. If you are watching the replay, thank you for taking time out of your day for watching this replay. We love that you're here, whether you're live or on a replay. We love that you're a part of this group, and you are what makes this group awesome. So thank you so much. You also can ask questions on the replay or after this is over. You put an @ sign in front of Lydia's name. Make sure the @ sign and the L touch each other, and then she will be notified that there's a question for her or something that you want her to see, and she'll come and check that out. Um, let's see. So if you are ready to go, we'll keep having those numbers pop in, but if you're ready to go, I'm just going to
Oh, yeah. Okay.
give you the screen and you can take her away.
Wait.
I got to spotlight you, and I just remembered there's only 2 of us here, so I'm going to pin you for now.
Okay, pin me for now.
Yep. And then take her away and I'll spotlight you in a few seconds.
Alrighty. So, yeah, this is a little red-breasted nuthatch. I've done a white-breasted one. So this is a pudgier little thing. So, kind of cute, like a chickadee. So we're going to put in the sparkle, and it's just, sometimes kind of nice to have a look at the shape and the placement of the sparkle. It's not always just a dot, not always just a random bright white dot. Okay, so we'll put it in, but it is nice to make it a bit bigger than you think you want, because it's always easier to trim it up rather than trying to add it later. Okay, so the sparkle was white, and then you're going to color in the eye. And there you can also trim it up. I think that's probably about right. It's kind of squished. It's not totally round. A little bit on the squish side. So think of that too as you're coloring. And then take a sharp white and put in the outline. Now, this does not go all the way around. It doesn't really go along the top. It's front and back. And you thin line along the bottom. Oh, 11 o'clock to, maybe 1 counterclockwise. So we can continue on with, now, when you're blocking these things in, you know, I pick a way of doing it. And if you need to do it slightly different to see the shapes, that's okay. I'm going to do white first. Okay, and again, this is kind of a flat shape. It's not one of those rounded shapes that we've had before. And there's three little segments. You don't have to do a super good job of coloring when you do these things because we really are just trying to figure out where everything goes. And we're just putting in our white. Color with the direction, of course. And this starts white. It will end up being a light beige, I suppose. And we've got this coming along here, the shoulder. And then this comes just down. Now there is, because you put your pattern on, or when you do put your pattern on, you're going to not use transfer paper on these very thin stacks of feathers. So you might really not know what the heck is happening there. If you can, there's a little white feather right in here. You can put it in later when it's easier to find, perhaps. And then there's this back claw. We're going to put a little white on that. And then we'll change colors to sand. And we're going to color the body. Don't press too hard, just get some color. The little triangle of blue there, so don't color all the way. And you should be able to find, as you're coloring along, the edge of where you embossed. And if you go into this area, that's because it's going to be dark on top. Okay, so we've got the chest, we've got the throat, and some markings. We're going to get some blues in there, and non-photo blue, and just this back part right in here. This is going to start off non-photo blue. And again, I mean, if you tip your head, you can see where the edge is. But if you go too far, again, this is going to be bluish gray anyways, this whole area. So it doesn't matter if you don't quite make it, like judge where everything is. But you can start to see now. There's my impressions or my embossing. Now, the beak. Let's just make sure our pencils are sharp. I'm going to start off with cool gray 90. Be very careful with the shape of the beak. I think we forgot a white. Put some white right in here. Now in the instructions it says the bottom of the top part of the beak. So there's his lips right here. So this is the top part, and we'll do it at the bottom of that. Again, make it, make it big. It's okay. The black will cover nicely. And now we're back to black. It's a slight curve. I noticed, not too much. I mean, you don't want to make them too weird, but and you can go over top of the white, and we're going to end up making that gray. So the beak and the head. We'll be a little bit more careful in here because, and this top part is fine, just do a light touch. And remember, you look, see how soft and you've got all these lines coming up. So when you color the black, keep that in mind of what we want to make as our final results. It's just easier if you have an idea of where you want to go. It might not turn out exactly like that, or you might have to go back and adjust things and all that, but and that's okay. But just it's nice to know where things, shapes and things like that we actually want. So I'm being careful right in here as well, trying to make more fine lines. Behind here, the eye, it's like eyeline. So head, let's keep going on that. Just slightly, so that we know where things are thinking about being. Now, underneath this cheeky part, right in here, it's not flat. It's going to be little tiny lines. And then underneath this graphite line, you'll just do it a little bit darker so we don't lose. And then we've got more black, 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 black. Although this is going to end up to be bluish, I suppose. All right. We could put just a little tiny bit of Cool 90 right in here because it's going to be separations. We've got that. And maybe a bit there. So it's not one great big bar of white. The wings, they're all cool gray. Again, just a light coat, and then all will be revealed with your stylus embossing. If you're ready, you can put this one in pretty dark. Same with this one down here. You can put it in fairly dark as well, just to anchor it. of it. Right. And maybe just a tiny bit of this color to get some of these shades. Just going to take my white and finish up this in there. Right, peacock blue. That's this triangle. And we're going to add some peacock blue over just some of the feathers, these ones here at the top. We will also add some peacock blue on, so this is the head, and then this is the, where the neck, he's bent. So we're going to add some blues on that back part. I think that's it for the actual bird. So we can just quickly get some texture going on this branch that he's on. So just strike some in with sand, and then you'll pick up your espresso, and we will make it most of the espresso is at that top edge here. Keep it rough. And we're going to color in his foot with the Cool 90s. Okay, I think that's good for photo one. I got everything, a color on everything. And we'll whip over to photo two. And we're going to put our OMS on everything. Make sure you get your transfer lines so that we can maybe take a little bit off. I was rushing today. And I made it a little bit dark, I think. So we'll take our 0, make sure it's clean. And we'll just do some nice rubbing. Don't try to keep your white clean here. It's going to be grayish blue, like we said. And just wipe your brush now and again to check off some of that pigment. So not much to do on the actual chest yet. Okay, so definitely want to come in here. We added a little bit of Cool 90 to dirty up so we get our section. So continue that. I spent quite a bit of time, like on my final run, on trying to make sure that these sections were nicely shaped. So thin and then rounded and coming across. You can see how this one's bigger than that one and so on and so forth. And those are just fine tuning things. And I will dirty up the claw because it's not white, that's just the sparkle. Okay, wipe it off and let it sit. And now we're going to start to develop some of our shapes a bit more. Come up to your beak and with your non-photo blue, go over top of that white. And work your way to the tip gently. Okay, just kind of make that part bluish. And I did use the Pablo Carandache for the whites on the beak, just because it gives you a little bit more control. So I put a little bit of white over top. And I'm looking at the shape of the beak at the lip line here. You want it slightly curved down. We don't want it sad, but it does slightly curve down. All right, so, and again, I'm going maybe a little bit wider than I think I want, because I'm going to bring the dark back. So I'm just looking at where and how the beak attaches to the head. So you see how this part comes right down and into this cheek. So I want that to happen right down and into this cheek. So you have to look for things that follow through. And, come up and start to shape all these lines or these shapes. Okay, so this is very, I would say furry, but of course it's feathery, little tiny lines. And always remember, you can go a little wider than you think with your white. Because you can always bring the gray back. And you want little feathers to be joining it's not a quilt, so you have to think about how these little lines have to come up and past so we can bring the dark back in and shape it again. So we keep going. Let's do a little bit more, and then before, oh, I'm gonna do this part here too. See, just like the little tiny lines here, and maybe you need to sharpen up your pencil or keep it rotating. Or both. Okay, so this is the cheek, runs into here. Little tiny lines at the bottom. And this is a little bit pointed. All right, just put that down before I get too far. And take your Cool 90 again. And we'll just add these darks back. So unless you want to be doing the same thing over and over again, this is where you have to slow it down just a bit and gently touch and stroke in. Just with little strokes to shade that top part. I mean, it's a black beak. With bluish white shading, highlighting. Right. And I think I like that. I like that for now. Continuing on. I'm just going to sharpen. So we've done this little cheeky part here, and we are going to also do not as much, but we'll do some texture on his head. It's a bit spottier. This is fairly even. And this part here, just a few. Maybe a couple on it. Okay. And notice how the angles change because he's got his neck cracked right like that. So then this is all this way, and then because his head's pointing up, you've got to do something a little bit more drastic than maybe you would normally do. Okay. So let's jump down to this white part. Try to jam the white into and over top of your transfer lines. This Pablo actually works pretty good. So you see, I've got that all covered up now. And I'll continue on this part. Let's see, this is the part I want. Oh, we've got a little party going on in that room. This is where people say to me, oh, how can you give them back? I've got 4 rambunctious, I guess he must be 10 weeks old now, and wreaking havoc on the room, my room. They haven't gotten into any of my art supplies yet, so it's at least. something. But there's a point where you feel in your heart, you think, oh, they're ready. They're ready to go. There we go. So we'll keep coming around. All right, so this is all whitish. It's going to be light, sandy. And then as you come around, you need to put some space in between your strokes because this part is just, it's going to be the orange yellow area. So we're just trying to put in some lines of texture and then we will be coloring them. So think fluffy thoughts as you're coming around the bottom of the belly. And maybe do something interesting, fluffy wise. And make sure you're rotating your pencil because you want to have fairly slim lines. Okay, so these ones going to come around and up that way. These ones are going to come down a little bit. These ones are coming back. And if you didn't quite get it the way you want, don't keep going on over and over and over. You'll have to do something else, a few more layers, and then come back and repeat that. Otherwise, if you keep on going, it just turns all solid and then you really have nothing to work with. Okay, I sharpened again because we are going to work a little bit on these wings as well. You want a pretty sharp pencil for that because we're going to try to get in some of those ditches that we have made. So we've got this white one. And here's another one you see. So I'm not just going to do an outline. I'm going to try to soften some of these. And some will be more outlined than others. Others will have a bit more highlighting. And again, if you can't get all of them, it's fine as long as you've got the different shapes and the different stacks. So you've got this little stack of short ones, and there's the top one, make it nice, and then a few down here. And so, in my original, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got only 3 on this one. So that's good, as long as they look like they belong. And we've got this guy, got this one. There's going to be, I think, oh yeah, here it is, a little like a point. And then I think we've got 3. Great, so we got that. So 1, 2, 3, lots of different things going on. And then these ones back here, well, you're not going to do as much work on them at all. You're just going to try to put a little bit of white. Hopefully you've got those. Boop. Okay. That would be my little campfire crew having fun. And so these ones at the top are a little bit different. And how many do we have? We've got one, we've got two, I think, three. And then there's another one here that has some fluffy lines. It's not, all you have to do is get them close because really everybody's looking. Here we go. This is going to be the prize. Look at his markings. He's got one black toe.
Is a cutie patootie.
His name is Carbon.
Carbon. Okay.
Carbon. All right, so let's see. Oh, we have to put some lines in here too, I think, don't we? Looks like it on the photo too. So again, I think with something as small as this, and especially if you're trying to go for at least some sort of realism, which I kind of think we are, you have to be aware of how things change. So this is his back, his shoulder. So a different kind of feather. So these kind of curve down, and then these, they curve upwards. And it's the same as the belly. You're just putting on some lines. They're not going to stay white. They're going to end up being light blue. And let's just take a couple of minutes. There's always a few lines of all the birds that we've been doing all along. There's these little bit of fluffy lines at the shoulder. Right, that should be enough with that pencil. And let's get the sandbar brown, which is kind of a greeny brown, actually. And just with little strokes, start at the bottom edge. And just stroke gently upwards. And not necessarily evenly, like it doesn't have to be exactly the same width all the way along. So we'll just try to get a bit of variety there. And so that's the little shadows. And then up in here, we'll just try to make some tufts. Cool gray, 30%. Fairly sharp. And nothing too fancy. We're going to lighten up the foot. And just because we want to have a different texture, we're going to use some dots and some dashes. Maybe some squiggles. And there's going to be right in here where the nail attaches itself to or in the actual toe. See if you can make this little curve so that it looks like it's actually going in. And if you do too much, again, bring the dark back. Do you still have your claw? And well, we can just kind of repeat with sand, and then maybe if you want to have something a little bit brighter, you can use your eggshell to texture. And that was espresso, wasn't it? There we go. So I'm just trying to be a bit more careful with the darks. But just have it dark right up here and see if you can be careful around the shapes here. So it should be looking pretty good right about now. I mean, got the shape, we've got the feathers, the way it's going like that. And so we'll start again at the beak and we'll just kind of work our way back and fine tune and adjust. So we can look at this beak and say, okay, do I need something darker? And that would be with black. And if you have a Pablo black, they're kind of nice. I would definitely be on the lookout for a Pablo black and white for your little toolkit there. So have a little look at that. This is darker here, maybe a bit darker where it hits the actual face. I don't think I have too much to do. If I decide that I want to put a bit more white on, I could, but like I say, it's mostly just light blue. This is fun to do if you're interested. You see how where the beak hits the face, this line of the beak comes up like that, and then there's a bit of black back there. If you would like to do that. It depends on, the level of detail. If you love it, then you'll be wanting to do all sorts of it. And if you're happy with just a beak that's hanging onto a little cute bird, then it looks okay too. All right, so I've just take a little bit of time because oftentimes we just like poke this or stick the beak flat onto the face and we don't really think about how it actually attaches. And it's quite cool actually. So we've got that, we've got this, and there is a little bit of black right in here too, if you're interested. Doesn't go too far, but and then let's work our way towards the eye. Fine lines here. These guys go up. Come right up tight to your white line. Trim up the white line as needed. Sometimes they're a little thick. We want a barely there sort of thing. And does your eye need to be blacker? Mine does. And do you like your sparkle? Oh, there you go. I've got it. I think. So you see, I've lost a little bit of my outline, and that's okay. Don't be too religious about making sure you have an outline all there. You're just putting a little something in there so that the eye pops forward. All right, so I'm thinking the beak is done, thinking the eye is done. This little area here looks pretty good too. What about under the eye? I want it to be lightest right up here. And then I need to bring back some of the dark. And oh, look at that. There's actually another marking right in here. I'm not pressing very hard. So, and I'm not coloring. I'm just making little lines and encouraging them to go in the right direction. Because I think, especially on something this small, if you go in there and get like a lot of coloring going on, you can get into trouble real quick. Okay, so I'm just putting on, just adding those little lines, and now it's like a salt and pepper kind of a brindle look. We'll do the same thing to the head. A bit darker right up here. Do you like the shape of your white? Now there's going to be some blue coming, that peacock blue, and that's going to tape very nicely over top of our white. So you know how we were bringing white lines into the head, into the dark area? Now you're going to bring the dark lines back.
Here's a quick question. Not that you use suede board that often, right? But can you use OMS on suede board?
I think I've tried it, and it's not that great. Not really that great. Doesn't work the same way, I don't think. Did we use it when we did the little fox?
I think we did with the sandpiper, I thought. But that
We did it somewhere.
yeah, I know we did it on the sandpiper. Some people were given suede board, but they were also given the card stock that you had already printed for them.
Right.
So I don't know. You can try it. I would try it on a sample, make sure it doesn't
Yeah.
discolor it when it dries.
Oh, the brain's not working. That's like, that was in May.
You're still on vacation time. I know.
Well, I just, it's over. May is over. So I
That's
don't
right.
have,
We're moving on.
moving on. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you. But yeah, that the only thing you could do really is get a little piece and see it. The only thing I would say is that, if it bleeds over, will it be okay? Like, will it dry clear? That would be the biggest thing. And if you do put it on and rub it around a little bit, I guess what I'm sort of saying is I don't really think there's any point, because I don't think you're going to get the same. It's like a different surface completely. So, I mean, you could use it, but I don't know if it'd be great, I suppose. All right. So you can see that I've done some darks in here, just because you don't want these great big shapes of one color. You want to try to get something else going on. And then you're going to take your blues, your peacock, and your non-photo. And you are going to just, we're calling it a glaze because it's a light application over top of something that we've already got going. Okay, and the peacock blue is quite nice. And then the non-photo blue is just lighter. And you can always go back with your black anytime you want, of course. And if you decide that you would like to put a little bit more OMS on these parts, you can. However, if you decide to rub, do it very carefully and don't over blend. Don't just get in there and back and forth. You want to get in there and just soften. Okay, so like if, for instance, if you gave them, if it was just a little bit too Elvis Presley, I guess, maybe you want to break it up a bit. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. And I like to get a dirty brush and bump into the white a bit where the black and the white meet, just to soften things. Just to soften them. If you need to have more shade, for instance, on this bottom area, and we've done the cool 90, I think, but maybe you don't want to have any more of the dark. So take the cool 30 and go over top of some of those. Just make them not so dark and intense. And I'm going to take my Prismacolor white and brighten up some of these areas. Remember what we said about this? This is not going to be white. This is going to end up being light tan. Now, if you hate your dark your markings in here, you think, oh, they're just like way too much. You could take your eraser, this eraser, and you could take some of it off. It maybe you really got carried away with you transfer lines and it like just really they're way too prominent. And it has to be subtle. You don't want a big bar of dark right there. However, having said that, I do believe this is actually a marking right in here. But we want it to be a little surprise. Now, again, if it's like way too much and you think, oh, what have I done? I got my black, it looks like a zebra. Don't forget you can actually always take off some of all that. So if you take it off and then just reapply your white. And sometimes you don't even have to say that it was a mistake. You think, oh, just want to take a little off. Okay. So, do you need any more lines here? You could add a few more if you like. If you think that it's pretty good. We have a bunch of orangey options here. And as I was looking through pictures, some of them are quite pale, and then some were quite a bit oranger. So it's kind of up to you as to what you would like to do. So the first, like I'd start off with the yellow ochre though. And let's put some up here on the white, where we said that this is going to be more of a light tan. And then come down and just intensify this yellow. After this step, if you think, oh, well, maybe I should have put a few more lines on, you can. But you see, I don't know, I think I've got enough on there. Maybe you wanted a different direction or something like that. So that was yellow oak. And then I played with the oranges, the goldenrod and the mineral orange. This is goldenrod first. So goldenrod's usually a pretty good color, kind of a natural looking color. And then you're just going to stop when you have the color you like or the intensity of it. I kept going. The actual picture was fairly pale, and then I saw them, in the wild, I guess, and I thought, oh, they're actually quite a bit burnt ochre-y, I guess. So I thought, oh, just pump it up a bit. So this is mineral orange, and it's also a very nice color. It's not too bright. And you just keep working your way towards the rump here. And then a little bit of burnt ochre. Now, I did find this fairly intense, so I would say just take it easy with it. Put a layer on, have a look, see if you want to go more. And let's rub too. So take your zero, make sure it's clean. You want to put a little bit more of your OMS on. The OMS always makes the white like this stand out. It won't be scratchy looking when it dries. Well, let's just hold with that, get the rest of it done, and then we can always, like I say, come back and have another layer on it if we would like to. And I do have some blues in here. You can see I got some blue shading and some little tints going on here too. So let's not get too carried away with this. Peacock blue. We're going to add another layer on his back. Very lightly. Okay, and then you're going to drift. Just drift over some of the, look at that, I got 3 more feathers right in there. Just drift into these smaller feathers a bit. And find, just take your white, your pebble white, and check what you've got feather-wise. So there's these three guys right here that I had missed. Well, they're blue anyways. And do you like how these guys are? Yeah, they're okay. They're all right. Let's just put a little bit more of the ONS in my number two. Clean all that yellow off your brush. I'm just going to soften where the neck and the head here join. And then give this a nice rub-a-dub. It's really a pretty color, very pretty color. And so we'll just add a few little touches. So let's put a bit of black. Now, if you've got the Pebble black, I guess the thing is with all the different kinds of, or the different brands of pencils, and you'll find this with pastels and probably with acrylics and things like that too. These are harder than the Prismacolors, and so they don't have as much pigment in them. And so then they're easier to use actually because you don't get into trouble nearly as fast. There we go. So just added a little something there. Just with tiny strokes. And if you'd like to rub, you can do that too. Maybe just a bit. I might put a little tiny bit up here as well, just mostly because I want it to look like it's kind of going over a bit. Like that. How is your joining here? Do you need to have a few more stray lines? Do you like your shape? Okay, so that looks, I think that looks all right. Let's see, where are we? Where are we now? We've got cool gray 70, because this is not right yet as far as the color. It's pretty, but it's not really very natural looking. So we'll take our cool 70 and we'll just put a few lines. Again, a glaze. A glaze is a good word. And soften some of this white so it's not stark white. Soften them where they blue. Yeah. Want them just peeking out. Just peeking. Do you have your dark? This is the dark one. We found it. And then there's a dark one here too. And do you have your white? Okay, that looks all right. We also have slate gray, which is actually a nice bluish green too, and that's going to help here. So you've got your cool 70 and you've got, you see how close they are really in color? Well, sometimes I just take both and, I put one on and the next time I do something, I put the other one on just for a variety and trying not to use mixed gray, I suppose, to try to make my own grays. That's all right. Okay, so let's just put some of that slate and we're just combing it. That's the word that I've decided to use. Just kind of combing this, putting in some lines. We did it first with the white. And now we're just doing it with the slate. We did a little bit with Cool 70. This is a very good color. It's a blue gray. And if you still think it needs just a little something more, it's still just this, shawl of weird blue, like an unnatural blue, then maybe take your black and drag a few through. We've got dark black here, we've got black up there, so a little bit of black is not a bad thing. So now it looks kind of smooth, it's bluish gray. And now what we need to do is just get a little bit more definition happening right in here. And you'll just take your black and darken, for the most part, underneath the wing in front, the feather. So this guy's on top of that. So this guy gets a bit of dark. We can put a few underneath here too. And we've done the white. So if you have, thought that, well, you wanted to do the white first, you could. You can do the black and then the white. And these ones up here at the top, they're a little bit shaggier. Same with this one. They have a bit of feather texture. You see how it's just kind of got lines coming this way? And then as they get thinner and thinner, you don't see that so much. And notice how you don't want to make every single line exactly beautifully the same white from here right to there. I don't really think that's very helpful. Do some, check it out. And then look at it, and I found that it was just way too black and white, and I needed to put some gray in there. So we'll just do the cool 70 is a really nice gray. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is an issue right here. Okay, so I did that and now it's just like too much, so then I have to put the gray back on top. So you want these to be part of the scene, of course, but you don't want them fighting with the rest of the bird. And sometimes when we get into these little tight sections, we make them so clear and crisp that that's all you can see when you look at it. Black, white, and that's all you look at. Stack of black and white lines. Oh, we got this little guy too. So we are going to add some black and just shade it much as we did here. There we go. Just a little bit, just to darken it. We can shade the foot with actual black. So along that top edge, I thought it was kind of a fun foot actually, with its bumps and okay, and then we just need to put some blue in there. Let's get that slate blue. Slate blue, is that what it is, or is it slate green? Slate gray, I mean. Yeah, slate gray. At the bottom there where it says slate blue, it is that slate gray. Okay, so I think when I was doing it, I tried the brown and, it was okay. But then the blues are so pretty in this that I thought, well, maybe we should just add that shade with a bit of blue instead. And when I mean blue, I mean, of course, the slate gray. So a little bit back here. And put it on, look to see what you've got. And you can always add more. And so I will spend a little time taking those dark lines off. And this is kind of bugging me too, because it just looks like a line. So I just went with white, and then I'm just going to take an orange. I think it's because my transfer lines are too dark. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay. So I think about the only thing that I would do now is I would take my Neo color 1 or 2, and get some of these whiter parts back. I mean, you can try first with your Prismacolor. So when you do it, go in the middle. Don't go from edge to edge. Go kind of in the middle. Because we tried to soften where the two shapes meet. So we don't really want to put the bright white right there because that makes the edge harder. So we're going to go and maybe try to place it. There we go. See, no, Hopefully you like that. And here, same sort of thing. Kind of makes it cute. That one. Also gets rid of some of your too dark lines, and I'm going to do some there. Well, this looks pretty good, but I'm going to do it. Oops. I think that's probably it. Yeah, I think that's it. If you think you need to have more on your branch, go ahead. But again, these are all this stuff along here is really not part of it. It's really you want everybody to look right here.
Okay, so do we go over the hints one more time or do we just go right to see who's the winner?
The hints? Oh, all my hints.
Mm. So I told
So
them, yeah, I told them one of the hints was is you owned two cats already.
right. I own two cats. So that's Carmen and Bloss. Everybody knows that already.
And that you've
And
had as many as 6 kittens at one time.
back in the day.
Hmm.
Right, right. Is that a good hint though?
And
I
then,
think I gave another hint where I said a group of four 9-week-old, 10-week-old kittens, and that they're ready to be given back. That was a hint. I don't know if
oh,
people
and
get
I
that.
didn't hear that one.
Oh, okay.
So
So
do your math and figure that
Lydia
out.
has two, and I did say four babies. And so I took them in for their vaccines, and they said, "Oh, they're fat enough. They're going to book them for their spays and neuters." And I thought I was going to have these guys for another week, but they rip
Ah.
them away when they feel that they're ready. So they're for the weekend. So then I was crying in the office. I said, oh my God, please give me something." So then they said, "Well, we do have a mama with 5 babies that you could have, and you can come on Friday to get them." And then yesterday they emailed me and they said, "Lydia, would you like to get a 3-week-old orphan?" And I said, "Of course I want a 3-week-old orphan." And by the time I got to the shelter to pick up that little orphan, they said, well, they had another orphan that was 4 weeks old. So I said, well, what the heck? Just pop that little guy in the cage and we'll take him home too. So what is that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, and 5 is, I have 14 cats in this
Oh
house.
my Lord. So the person who came the closest is Dixie Nancy, and I don't want to ruin her last name, but I think it's Seams, Ceames, and she um chose 13, a baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen. Well, she just lives up the road from me. So she's going to have to come and pick up her prize, and I can save on shipping and I can put it into my cat food budget.
There you go.
Dixie, you're going to have to come. Nancy, you're going to have to come and visit me and have a cup of tea and check these babies out.
So there you go. Awesome. So thank you. And I did put in your in the comments to please go and purchase your pattern packet from lydiasteeves.com .com under Critter Squares. And next time, what do you got for us? And
Oh, I should leave my camera down.
do you remember the date?
I'm gonna say September something. So we did have a poll as to which one did we want to do first, and of course we did pick the Nuthatch, which is why we're doing that one tonight. And then we are going to do the silly squirrel, even though he might be slightly out of like he's more of a spring guy, but I think we should be able to do him. And I'm going to say September 12th.
Yeah, that sounds good. It sounds good. I don't have my calendar open, but that sounds good. But yeah, check it out. I'll post the ad soon, the event, and and we'll be ready to go. So
That's
anyways,
Jackson. That's Jackson. You still have me
aw,
pinned.
it's adorable.
He's the 4 week old.
See, now you should do a pencil of that one too.
Of course.
I like the colorful basket.
Yes, I bought that basket in Nova Scotia and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And apparently I was going to put kittens in it.
So Dixie Nancy said that we're up for that. Can never get enough kittens. Thanks. Wonderful evening. So thank you all. Thank you, Lydia. And if, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section. Trying to see about adding me. I'm getting the wrong place. Put them in the comment section, put an @ sign in Lydia so that they touch each other and she'll be notified that she has a question or something that you want her to see. Thank you all for being part of this group. You make it the best and tell all your friends, come back and join us. Join us for more Lydia's Critter Squares. And I've got other artists working on things for you, especially with the holiday coming up, right? So we're going to have some little things for you to do and for free. And then, yeah, that's going to be, have a great rest of your weekend. And what can I say?
If you have spare hours, drop by and I'll put you to work.
There you go. You can get all the kitten love you need right there.
Exactly, exactly.
They say they bring your stress level down, so
Well, there you go. There you go.
how can you be stress petting a little furry creature? You can't. You can't.
No, 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 no. If
There's
they
no.
start to purr and they
Oh
snuggle in.
yeah, they're so sweet. And it's like baby hugs and giggles, how can you be stressed over that, So we're gonna go her kittens, my baby grandbabies, and we will see you all next time here in Artfully Connected with Cindy Harrison. Check out her regular webinar classes. She has her own as or do with other chapters or other
Yeah,
events.
go to my calendar page and it's all out there.
Yep. And then come check her out at artfulwebinars.com as well.
Exactly. Lots on the in the video library there too. Lots
Oh
in
gosh, yeah, she's got a lot in the
big.
video library of previous webinars that she's taught that you can have access for. Unlimited asterisks, meaning unless I don't pay the bill. If I don't pay the bill, then it goes
Yeah,
away.
so there's
That's
that.
not going to happen anytime soon. And oh yeah, and she's also going to be in the convention, the 2026, our 6th annual online interactive convention in February 24th to March 1st. She's going to be teaching there as well. So you can check that out on the show and tells that we have here. The artists will start talking about and showing you what they're going to be doing at the convention. Our reveal is the last week of I think September 25th, I think, is going to be our reveal. So you'll get that, and then the catalog and registration opens on October 1st. So I can't wait. We've got some new things
Good.
going on this year, so
Yeah.
got to check it out. Thank you, everyone, and have a
Okay.
great evening.
Good
Bye
night.
now.
Good night, everyone.